continent, you're asking for unity?
So you're saying because the continent of Africa is not unified, then we can't have a global unification of the black diaspora?
But what are you unified around?
That's something we could build. What is the purpose of Pan-Africanism if you're saying that unity isn't possible?
Well, you said it as if I believe in Pan-Africanism. It's the most stupid, bogus thing anybody to even say.
But you spoke about worldview earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if our worldview was to uplift each other?
Whose worldview?
Black people.
Which black people?
Oh, man, this conversation is heating up. Ever since foundational black Americans has decided to delineate and separate ourselves from the pack, different black groups around the world, different groups of people that look like us around the world are starting to have this conversation. You now have Caribbean people in the UK exposing Africans, going in on Africans, especially Nigerians, saying that they're trying to erase their culture. You have this woman, Sandra Badu, right, from Africa. She's over here trying to tell black Americans how we should do our thing and what our culture is, as if we don't understand our culture. She's up on her platform, on her soapbox, talking about we're trying to erase the contributions of Africans and Caribbeans. No, we're not. We never did. We've always had our arms wide open. We've always included a Marcus Garvey or a Farrakhan or a Shirley Chisholm. We're just letting you know, before there was a Marcus Garvey, right? We had other people here. We had a Martin Delaney. We had people that was here plowing the road and doing the work. They came here, added on to a fight that was already happening. You guys want to erase that history. You guys want to tell us how we should tell our own history, right? Before we had a Shirley Chisholm, we had an Ida B. Wells, we had a Mary Bethune-McLeod. We had these people here already, right? And you guys want to make, when it's a win for us, it's a win for you. But when it's a win for you, it's separate from us because we don't have a culture. Our culture is everybody else's culture. If y'all don't believe me, listen to this foolishness.
Rather than situating these early Africans as part of a long African civilizational continuum with languages, cultures, technologies, and histories that existed long before they ever encountered Europeans, the FBA framework increasingly treats enslavement and resistance on American soil as the starting point of identity. And from that framing, another claim emerges. Many FBA proponents argue that they are the foundational builders of this nation, that Black Americans descended from U.S. slavery are not just central, but exclusive to the Black struggle in America. And this is where the danger deepens, because that argument quietly asks us to forget something critical. It asks us to overlook the fact that many of the most influential figures in Black liberation, culture, and political thought were immigrants or children of immigrants of African descent, some of whom also had ancestors enslaved in the Americas. Marcus Garvey, Harry Belafonte, Kwame Ture, C.L.R. James, Louis Farrakhan, Ivan Van Sertima, Cicely Tyson, Shirley Chisholm, and countless others. Because their lineage does not fit a narrow definition. Are we really going to say that these figures who shaped Black consciousness, civil rights, political representation, Pan-African thought, culture, and global solidarity were somehow outside the Black American struggle? Because history tells a very different story. Black liberation in America has always been diasporic, always global, always interconnected, from abolition to civil rights, from labor movements to cultural revolutions.
So because of women like Sandra Badu, we're getting some straightening. Because you don't get to tell us how we should share our culture. See, this is the thing. We're not saying that our culture started with slavery. We know that we come from a far older people than that. Some of us was already here. Some of us was born here on them ships, right? Through Virginia and South Carolina, right? We know that. But we know in our ethnogenesis, what we experience here as foundational Black Americans is our story that we know. We don't know that story. We don't know where we came from, those places and all that kind of stuff. So we're focusing on the last 500 years what we established here as foundational Black Americans and how we influence the world and those that was already here, right? So for her to come here and try to tell us and dictate to us this form of Pan-Africanism, which if you put your ear to the ground, you find out that Africans, she's trying to get us to practice something that her people themselves don't even practice. That's the hypocrisy in there. I don't want to be disrespectful to her, but I want to tell you, you're being disrespectful to us because you don't have the right to get up there and speak in a manner in which you're speaking when you have sisters in the Caribbean that's accusing Africans of this.
Over here, every ethnic group is recognized. So every form we sign when we're going for a job and it asks for like the diversity questions or our census, our government data, we have the Office for National Statistics. Everyone in this country the population is broken up by ethnic group. It's always been that way. So where there is the term Black British, it always is Black British, Caribbean, Black British, African. That's how it has always been here. So this whole attempt now to take the Caribbean off and take the African off, I'm like, what's that? Because that's new. Like that's not us Caribbean heritage people saying that. It's weird. It's flipping weird. I saw a video recently, like I said before, and it was a video that was meant to be a breakdown of what Black British culture is. I said, but anything you're about to say is Black British culture is going to be Caribbean culture first and foremost. Second of all, when the dude started talking, the first thing I said was anyone that would make a video saying what Black British culture isn't going to be Caribbean. I know that for a fact because that's not how we speak. So then the dude started speaking and everything he referenced was Caribbean. Everything he talked about, grime, all this other stuff, the music, all of that has been created and introduced by Black Caribbean people. Okay, and this guy is breaking it all down and mentioned a bunch of Caribbean things and then said, and then he said, and West African influence, and then doesn't say what the West African influence is. And then it turns out the guy's Nigerian. So I said, oh, well, that would be why then, innit? So we're not the same. We're separate communities in this country. Are we racially Black? Yes. Are people racially Asian? Yes. Do they have their different ethnic groups? Yes. Do white people have their different ethnic groups? Yes. So I don't know what this new shit is, where it's like, no, but we're Black British, so let's all be the same. No, I don't want to be. I like what my community is. I like what.
Well, can I say something?
I'll let you in a sec. I like how far we've come. I like our contributions, and I'm very proud of my community, like very proud. So there's no flipping way now that I'm gonna start contributing to our own erasure and the erasure of our identity when that's never happened. Like it makes no sense. Like I'm seeing restaurants opening up, and the other day, yes, I'm petty when I feel like it. I got into it with someone that was promoting their new restaurant because it was called Afro-Caribbean something, and it was meant to be Afro-Caribbean food. And I've looked all excited in that, and I'm looking, and it was all Nigerian food with one Caribbean dish. I said, hold on. First of all, Afro-Caribbean isn't Nigerian food, so I don't know what that is. So I went back and forth with the person, and I said, none of this is Caribbean. Like, what is the purpose of this? And they're like, oh, well, you can start your own restaurant. And I was just like, so you use our identity to sell stuff? Are you taking the piss? Like, so people that don't have sense are going to go to your restaurant now and be eating Nigerian food and not know that they're not eating Caribbean food. What is that?
Nigeria not even older than Caribbean.
It's flipping weird. But
the cultural erasure is crazy, and to see it happening in real time, how other groups will try to absorb you into a flat Blackness, and the exchange isn't even mutual.
So, don't that sound like FBA talking points over there in the UK? So this is the thing. Stop telling us that we're causing division. Stop coming over here saying that we're being the troublemakers, right? We already got the problem with our own FBA family that's connected to the Democratic Party that's pushing the line and pushing this immigrant talking points and want to downplay our story. But in the UK, they're saying the same thing, right? You got Africans that's saying Pan-Africans don't exist. But this the thing. They wasn't done. They're exposing the way that a lot of Africans are coming into the UK and coming into the Caribbean and trying to erase their culture and amalgamate Caribbean culture into Africa, saying it was all African culture. The same way Sandra, Babu, and the rest of them are doing us, this is what the people in the Caribbean are saying.
I said I want to add on one point that you just spoke about. So I was gonna say, yeah, you're completely right. They use the Caribbean name to market their businesses. Even back in the day, a lot of West Africans used to claim Caribbean, Jamaican heritage, even though they come from Africa. Even though they don't have accent, their accents got nothing to do with how the Jamaicans or the Caribbeans sound like, you know. So yeah, this is very like funny behavior. I agree with you, and I support you because it's weird nowadays. They nowadays because they wanna sell, they wanna get more sales, they wanna be more famous, they wanna attract more people. They use the Afro. What does Afro Caribbean mean? What is African got to do with Caribbean? You know, like the food, I don't get it. Maybe it's supposed to be hybrid food. I've been to a lot of places like that, but disappointed because I'm looking, maybe they would have 1-2 drinks that is Caribbean.
Yeah, it's insulting. I mean,
It's very insulting.
even it's very insulting because my community brought a lot here. So even the way people perceive, unfortunately, I hate the flipping term, but outside of the UK, the way some people perceive black British culture, like that's just all it is, right? It's usually to do with Caribbean culture. Like it's literally that. So it's very frustrating. I actually, if you type in on YouTube, because I saw this video pop up in my feed and I was like, what the hell? It's someone that calls themselves African Dominican. And while it's a person that has left, it's a lady who's left West Africa and she's moved to DR, to the Dominican Republic. And her sole goal and purpose is to just tell Dominicans that they are African and they need to embrace their Africanness. When they've got their own culture and way of life, her purpose is to go there and just tell them who they are. And she's created a whole channel called African Dominican. And you know what's funny to me? I don't know what country in Africa she's from. I know she's West African, but that's it. I don't know what country she's from. You want to say Dominican, but you don't want to say the country in Africa you're from. It's flipping weird, man. I don't like it. I don't flipping like it. Like, it's really insulting.
So for the last couple of days, I've been going into these Caribbean and African spaces. And I was flabbergasted, befuddled. Man, where did they go after each other? Oh my, like it's hardcore horrible. But yet and still, they'll be banging on each other, but then turn around and come to us and tell us that we're causing division. Tell us that we're being xenophobic. Tell us all these different things. No, the cat's out of the bag. Y'all shouldn't have let old George find this out, because now I'm going live every time and show my people. Yo, don't be ashamed. Don't let them shame you. No, this is what they do. They're holding you to a standard that they themselves don't hold themselves to, because you live in America, right? You live in America. They want to come to America and tether off of you, right? While at the same time, you have a very well-educated African, right? Now, to me, he's not super well-educated on our story, but he's educated on African story and the story of Africa. And he's explaining to a lot of FBAs who don't understand, because you got a lot of FBAs that still have a democratic plantation mindset, right? And they think that just because you are black that you are a brother. And we found out the hard way that you're not. And Frank is trying to explain this to these brothers, right? And they don't understand. But Frank is making clear. I understand this, right? Look at this.
Continue. You're asking for unity?
So you're saying because the continent of Africa is not unified, then we can't have a global unification of the black diaspora?
What are you unified around?
That's something we could build. What is the purpose of Pan-Africanism if you're saying that unity isn't possible?
Well, you said it as if I believe in Pan-Africanism. It's the most stupid, bogus thing ever to anybody to even say.
But you spoke about worldview earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if our worldview was to uplift each other?
Whose worldview?
Black people.
Which black people?
All black people.
No, there is no such thing. You can't go to Asia and say all Asian people.
But why not?
I am telling you, this is the mistake We are the only ones who walk the earth, and as soon as you see a black person at the airport, oh, brother. No, I'm not your brother.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Have you gone to Europe and you had an Italian man calling a German brother?
Fuck them. What's wrong with me seeing you at the airport?
This is the problem.
You gonna have to explain it to me then.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Let me ask you. Let me tell you something. The story of Chaka the Zulu.
Chaka Zulu.
What was he famous for before they killed him? Tormenting fellow black tribes in that region.
Okay.
So that's the man you're going to unite with?
No.
Okay. I'm just telling you. We think that skin color makes you and me the same. We're not. I am from a small tribe called the Ajat tribe in Benin. Benin is only 6.5 million people with over 40 tribes. When I say tribe, I mean the language is like French and Chinese. I don't have anything in common with the 49 other people in my country. Nothing in common. They speak a different language. They have a different God, a different religion, different food, different forms of wear and culture, traditions and customs. We were forced, carved and say, remain here. He's not my brother. Now you're asking for a global brotherhood of all black people. Why would the black people be different from any continent? Europe is a global community of white people, but they don't go around saying brother and sister. Asia is a community of all yellow Asians in Asia. They don't go around calling each other brother and sister. Same with the Middle East, same with everywhere. Where only when it comes to black people you think we are all the same. We're not the same. If the African Americans who came here had been able to trace their tribes, their country, you know, that kind of thing, oh, you wouldn't look at me and say, I'm a brother. No.
I'm telling you, without that information, I want to call you a brother.
Oh, no, I totally admire it.
Yeah.
I admire it because I know it's a very endearing word that African Americans use here to show that we are in a struggle together. Okay, I understand that.
We're unified to build together. So I think you're looking.
Okay, so that is what he was saying. Right. He said something was interesting, that I educate for a reason. I do.
Yeah.
I also uneducate. Meaning there are certain promises we are being given. It's just diverting us, and it's not going to happen. You're not going to have a Pan-Africanism. That is one. It is only for groups of people who are thinking that there's a reason they can build South Africa. So now you're looking to join because misery loves company.
Don't let Dr. Umar hear you say that.
Now, I tell people all the time, take the emotion out. I don't care what you think about Frank Zanu. There's a lot of things I think that Frank Zanu is ignorant about, especially when it comes to foundational Black American culture. But when it comes to him breaking down Pan-Africanism, he is 1,000% spot on. We've been conditioned and trained to believe that everybody black was our brother. You know, for so many years, we would get mad at Dominicans when they would come over here and say, I know black. And we would say, yes, you are. And I learned, no, they're not. No, they're not connected to us. They are Dominican. Leave them over there with being Dominican. We got this African or black unification thought process. And unfortunately, family, that's not the way the world works. That's not the way the world operates. Frank was spot on. And he's trying to tell you. So whenever I tell, you know, my listeners, my followers, when they come over to listen to George, take all the emotion out. Sometimes when somebody's speaking and you disagree, don't just start yelling out and over talking them. Shut up and listen. Let them talk. Use your ears. Listen. And then take 3 seconds before you respond. Think, right? We got to start moving cerebrally. We got to start moving with the right thought process and a plan of action of how to solve problems. So when I'm listening to Frank in regards to this topic, he's spot on. The young brothers couldn't understand because of our training here in America for so long. We've been conditioned to love and care and open up our arms for everybody else when 90% of Africans are coming over with the mentality of Franks. So now we're finding out and being disgruntled, like, yo, we loved y'all for so long, but y'all not a part of us. Y'all don't consider y'all a part of us. You from the such and such tribe. And like he said, in his country is 6 million people with like 42 different tribes who speak different languages, eat different food, dress different, don't get along. And when they come here, you think they're going to see you as their brother? No. That's why Sandra Babu can talk the way she talk, because she can't have you waking up. Because the minute you wake up and start thinking like they think, right, she can't benefit no more. Because we immediately say, hey, she not one of us. So don't put her in the category as us. That's what the sister in the UK was saying. They already have it broken down into categories so there's no misunderstanding. That's what we're trying to get. So that way there's no misunderstanding. Because what they're trying to do is put the immigrants over our story. It's Black History Month telling our story. We get to tell our story the way we want to tell our story. But I got a live stream coming, right? I got a live stream coming. Look forward to it, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.